Hey everybody, and welcome back to We the Revolution. We are in Act 2 now, so let's start up. We have the aristocrats a little unhappy with us. Let's see what Act 2 is all about. Alright, Monsieur le Judge, there's a tragedy 2 streets away. People are calling for a judge. Okay, we already did this. Let's just rush through it again. I guess it didn't save. Order the men to be freed. Revolutionaries disliked us. Reputation went up. Common folk went up. Okay. So the commander of the guard is going to be just going to not like that very much. But that's okay. So let's see. Who do we have here? What's your name, citizen? Arthur Bonnet. You were accused of pandering your minor ward, Olivia de Nerval, for your financial gain. How do you plead to these charges? Is pandering what I think it is in this situation? Are you pimping out the child that you're supposed to be guarding? I did nothing of the sort. Who dares say so? Citizen Arnaud de Condorcet, present in the courtroom, claims that you did. That is slander, a plot against me conjured up by this man. I am the director of a most famous theater known throughout Paris, not a souteneur? Don't know what a souteneur is. The price list found during the investigation points to the contrary. You're jumping to conclusions. Okay, so there is some evidence. They will take him away and behead him any minute, that loathsome pimp. Can we not ask the child? Is that a thing we can do? Alright, let's just check here. The aristocrats, who we have angered, want him to go free, as do the revolutionaries. Common folk and our family want him dead. How old is Olivia? What's his act counter-revolutionary? These are things we need to answer. According to Bonnet, why did he take the girl from the orphanage? What happened to the money earned from the meetings with the actress? Let's just check. Yeah, their aristocrats are way down. If we acquit him, it's good. If we death penalty him, it's not great for the aristocrats, but it's not the end of the world. Okay. Alright. What's the notebook flashing for because of the thing we did with the people just now? Alright, let's read the claim here. Arthur Bonnet, 38-year-old, I'm sure it's supposed to be like Bonnet, 38-year-old director of the Odeon Theater, has been accused of pandering. The law enforcement authorities have known about the brothel for a long time. Some of the actresses sell their bodies right after the play, using the acting as a pretext, but also to advertise themselves. Among the Odeon's clientele are members of the National Convention and officers. Thanks to them, Director Bonnet, I'm just going to keep calling him Bonnet, is able to derive significant financial reward without fear of any consequences. The latest reports, however, seem to be too outrageous to be ignored. So he's got some consequential, or some influential is what I should say, influential customers, and they've been hiding things, but they can't cover this up. Bonnet has been accused of pandering 13-year-old Olivia de Nerval, who was left in his care. The court administration has learned about this from Arnaud de Condorcet, a friend of the recently guillotined father of the girl. Why was the father of the girl guillotined? Arnaud testified that Olivia de Nerval played a role in a private show titled The Misfortunes of Virtue, shown only to a small number of carefully selected guests. Usually after such private shows, some of the actresses have private meetings with their admirers. Arnaud witnessed that Bonnet ordered one of his subordinates, Maria Deramay, to walk Olivia to a room where Gustave Clavel, a theater critic known for his lechery, was already waiting. De Condorcet's accusations quickly spread among the aristocrats, who demanded the immediate arrest and severe punishment of Bonnet. Meanwhile, Olivia refused to testify, and Clavel has disappeared. Well, that's interesting that it says that the aristocrats demand his arrest and punishment, but the aristocrats wanted to let him go. It's a weird deal there, but whatever. Is there another page? Yes. The brochure. The stars of the Odeon Theater invite their fans to a private spectacle. From Arthur Bonnet. Soloist, 400 francs. The lead, or soloist, 500 francs. Lead, 400 francs. Support, 300. Bit part, 200. Background, 50 francs. Specials, 600 francs. What are we talking about here, sir? What are these prices? Let's unlock the questions. There is one trap, and we have to do 8 correct items. Out of 8. Okay. So something's got to be used more than once. We have to figure out what's the evidence, what's the course of events, what's an accusation, what's a motive, and what's a victim. Olivia seems to be the victim. Alright, that's easy. Brochure is an evidence. Rendezvous with a critic. Meetings with the actresses. Private performance. Role in the show. Profits from prostitution is an accusation. Not an accusation, excuse me. Accusation of pandering is definitely an accusation. Okay. Role in the show. So there is a trap somewhere in here. Role in the show, victim. That was the trap. Okay. Well, rendezvous with the critic is a course of event. Profits from prostitution. That's not a... I mean, that's a motive, I guess. Meetings with the actresses. Private performance is a course of event. It's also... Well, it's only lighting up one thing, which is victim. Is the meetings with the actresses a course of event or a victim? It sounds like a course of event. And this is a victim. Alright, all questions unlocked. Good. We didn't even have to use our guy on the side here. Our mentor to help us out. Why did de Nerval come under your custody after her father's death? Do the meetings of the actresses in their coincidence conclude in bed? You charge your customers for meetings with the actresses. What are they paying for? Do those private meetings take place after... ... Calling the witness. The person that's making the accusations who saw the girl being led away. How much of the revenue obtained through those private meetings lands in the theater's coffers? Do you confirm that your ward was acting in the play? What role did Olivia de Nerval play in the Misfortunes of Virtue? What do we need to add? We need to know, how old is she? She's 13. We've already answered that. That's in the complaint. It's right here. 13-year-old, yes. Was his act counter-revolutionary? We don't know that. Why did he take the girl from the orphanage? We need to answer that question. Why did she come to you? It's very simple. She was first put into an orphanage and I adopted her once I recognized her talent. What talent? Well, acting, of course. Children were giving performances in the orphanage? No, but I can recognize talent by watching how a child walks and holds their head, by listening to their voice and their choice of words. How a child walks. Right. How often do you look for future actresses in the orphanages? Not as often as I should. There is too little time for it, which is a shame because you can find true stars among the orphans. Okay, well... Why did he take the girl? He discovered her talent. What happened to the money earned from the meetings? So, we need to answer that question. How much of the revenue obtained through those private meetings lands in the theater's coffers? According to the agreement with the staff, 70%. That's a lot, I know, but maintaining the rooms, food, and something to drink too, they all generate costs. Besides, if it weren't for the theater's reputation, you know. Do you receive a bonus for those meetings? Because of my ideas, the theater's profits are greater than ever. Am I rewarded by this? Of course, and it's only fair. So it is important to you to arrange as many of those meetings as possible. Yes, because it's in the theater's best interest. And it's in your best interest, too. Yes, but that's not important to me. Okay, well, the jury really wants to give it a death penalty right now, mister. It's shared between him and the theater, them and the theater. The actresses took everything, the theater took everything. No, that's not true. It is shared. I need to make sure, yeah, the thing over here, this meter is not risen too far. Um... You charge your customers for meetings with the actresses. What are they paying for? For a conversation, for a private show. Sometimes our ladies read poetry or sing. Such performances are extremely important to us, as the theater is very expensive to maintain. What an interesting way of improving the budget. Could you describe the rooms in which those meetings take place? Our stars have dedicated rooms where they can rest and prepare for the show. Are those rooms furnished with beds? Of course they are. After 2 hours of performing and dancing, they would be rather tired, don't you think? How many clients visit your stars in a single night? 1 or 2. In a very special case, 3. But I would rather not exhaust the actresses. You think conversations are exhausting? Their mouths must burn like hell, but not from the talking, says the audience. Oh. Behave, will you? They really are sensitive and should be treated with respect. Okay. Can you confirm that your ward was acting in the play? You confirmed that your ward was acting in the private show, The Misfortunes of Virtue, performed to a very limited audience? Of course. Where else could she learn acting, if not on stage? Was she supposed to learn during her meeting? Was she also supposed to learn during her meeting with Clavel? I bet she also gave a performance, just something different from the play. I would hope so. That man is incredibly well versed when it comes to theater. His remarks must have been invaluable. Okay, well, tell me, do the meetings with the actresses conclude in bed? They are private meetings. I have no idea what happens during them. Can we assume that during those private meetings, the visitor and the visited engaged in sexual activities? Allow me to repeat myself. I have never been present at such a meeting. I have heard gossip, of course, but I think that stems from the strong imagination of our clients. All of them? Our actresses are so adored that their incredible talents, for their incredible talents, that I believe every man dreams about them, but they are only dreams. Are you saying that those men pay hundreds of francs for only a conversation? Some people pay for good wine, others for interesting conversation. It is none of my business. Hasn't seen anything, doesn't know anything. Right. Alright, I want to call in the witness, please. Hello, madam. What is your name? I am Maria Deramay. What position do you have in the theater? I'm a burr maiden. I manage the female personnel of the theater. Okay, who arranged Olivia de Nerval's meeting with Gustave? Or how much was Clavel charged for his meeting with de Nerval? No, let's say who arranged the meeting. It wasn't an arranged meeting. Mr. Clavel was impressed by her performance and asked for the opportunity to talk to her. I assume the meeting actually took place. Were they alone? Naturally, the director allowed it, so I found an empty room for them. So the accused knew about everything and gave his personal permission? Well, surely there's nothing in the Odeon Theater happens without the director's knowledge and permission. So he did know what was happening behind closed doors. Apart from Clavel, did anyone else have a meeting with the accused ward? Has Gustave Clavel met with other actresses in the past? Well, did anyone else meet with her? No, although Mr. Arnaud de Cordeset asked for such a chance before the performance and even wanted to pay for it. Excuse me? The person that's making the accusation wanted to have a private meeting with her? And now, but he didn't, but now he's making an this is an odd one. How interesting. Did the director give us permission? No, he flatly refused. He said that Olivia is not a professional actress yet, and that she's too young to meet her admirers anyway. But why did he let her meet this other guy? What was de Condorcet's reaction? He was very agitated, vulgar even. I can't blame him. Olivia is a very talented apprentice. Well. That went very well for you, sir. Very well indeed. So, the man making the... Yeah, can we not bring him? I wish we could bring him up front and ask get him to testify. So the man making the argument. So there's very little evidence here that any crime actually occurred. The child is missing. Or she was refused to testify, so we don't have her testimony. The supposed John has gone, has disappeared. There's some kind of interesting shenanigans going on with the man that's making the accusation. It's not counter-revolutionary. No, I'm gonna just go ahead and sign this now. I could try to force it to death penalty. But honestly, I'm less convinced that there's enough evidence to convict this guy, honestly. Let's see, if we acquitted him, the common folk would dislike us. But the revolutionary and the aristocrats would go up. I think it's your lucky day, sir, because we've got good testimony that says there's some weirdness going on with the person making the accusation. So, and there's no direct evidence to support that there was anything weird going on. So I'm going to have to acquit you because of a technicality. So there you go. You get to go. Not sure I'm happy about it, but here you go. The judgment for Arthur Bonnet is not guilty. Take the defendant away. Not guilty? How is that possible? Come on, he runs a brothel. The judge must like his actresses. Even if you do not believe what has been said about Olivia, you can see that the theater is little more than a brothel. Yes, but that wasn't what was on the docket today. This wasn't, did he run a brothel? This was, did he specifically pimp out this girl? And there's not evidence of that. Alright, common folk minus 12, aristocrats plus 10. Go ahead and move on, please. What do we have here? We're at our house, just having a bottle of wine by ourselves because our family has disappeared. Is that what's going on? Guess our boy is dead. We're looking at a little carving of our boy. Sorry to interrupt, sir. Oh, excuse me? You just want to burn up the effigy of your son? What kind of weird monster are you? What a freaking weirdo. Like, I could see if he's like, I can't stand to look at this. Like, I'm so sad that I can't stand to look at this. But, yeah, our family hates us for letting that guy go. Visit Frederick's grave. Read together. Go to the Café Procope. My wife would not like it, but my other son and my father, they really need some help. We can either go to the cafe or visit the grave. Either way, it's going to give me what I want. It's not going to make everyone like me, but it will make these two like me. So I'm going to visit Frederick's grave. Each visit twists the knives in your hearts. Some want to remember, some hasten to forget. Well, I think we have to, after burning his little figure. I think we're an absolute monster, so to make up for it, we'll try to go to the grave. Alright. And now we're back to this. Alright, we knocked out both of his guys. That's good. We have discovered this area. And the Bruiser comes in to fight us. Seizure successful. The hideout has been seized. It will help your agents operate more efficiently in Paris. So, unfortunately, we're locked down. We can't go help our diplomat, who is being fought by another diplomat. So I think we're in trouble here. We're probably going to lose this guy. Or at least he's going to be injured. Revolutionary Patrol is on patrol. We have the hideout now. Not the hideout, yes, the hideout. We can grant immunity or calm the crowd. What do those do? I don't know what those do. Because there are probably things we can... I don't know. I'm just going to leave them alone for now, then. Maybe those are things we have to do in the courthouse. Alright, so I don't think we can do anything here because we're completely locked down. So let's end the day. Act 2, Egalite, Day 2.
Good morning, citizens.
Good morning, Robespierre.
You did not hurry here, did you? Long night.
Citizen Robespierre, to what do we owe the...
Vendée, there was a rebellion.
What? Who started it?
People. Traitors. They are yelling that they have had enough of the terror of the revolution. Some say they want bread. Others, that the clergy continues to oppress the people.
And there are those who shout, "To hell with Robespierre's terror!"
Well, yes, there's that.
You speak too freely, citizen. Enough with the lenient verdicts. Enough with indulgence. I will deal with Vendée myself, but I need the situation in Paris. And I need you to get rid of the undesirable, the element that undermines the sense of the revolution. Fear will help them think more rationally, to believe in its message. You must bring peace to the capital city, even if that means blood.
So
And what
people
about
are...
legal equality?
I'm sorry.
Justice?
Terror is nothing but swift justice.
I don't think we see eye to eye, Mr. Robespierre. The people are rioting and you want to push them down even further, which is going to only cause more rioting. Archbishop Jean-Baptiste Gobel was the one who made the decision on the death of your child. He should be your next target, says some note that we received. A royalist uprising started in Vendée. Paris is in turmoil, and anyone could be accused of trying to start a civil war. Influence -2, common folk -1, aristocrats -1, revolutionaries -1. So we're kind of like at base level, at a baseline with everybody. Bad relationship with our father caused the common folk to dislike us. Bad relationship with our son caused the revolutionaries to dislike us. Everyone wants whoever this is to be beheaded. Except for my family. My family wants her to go free. I should probably end the episode, but I think I will push it on. Hopefully this isn't a long one. Let's just tell here. What questions do we need to answer? Did the defendant confess the crime? Was her act counter-revolutionary? Where did the women get food? How much had the Baron changed since the start of his trial? How long? Well, this doesn't mean anything to us because we don't know what the argument is. I'm just curious though. If we give her the death penalty, it doesn't change much. If we acquit her, it changes a whole lot. All right. Well, hopefully you got something to say for yourself, madam. Let's see what we have. Amy Dene, a 19-year-old orphan who is currently employed at a loom shop, is accused of being a monarchist. Prior to the revolution, the defendant was working as a kitchen maid in the Parisian residence of Xavier de Borda, the Baron of Lezenay, who was a sworn supporter of the citizen Capet. After the beginning of the revolution, he was accused of plotting against France. However, because of insufficient evidence, he was only stripped of his title and fortune. Danae, this woman, was denounced by the head of the loom shop, 56-year-old Louis Berthier. He has accused her of supporting the monarchists and having counter-revolutionary views. Amy allegedly committed theft of groceries from the loom shop pantry. It would have been an ordinary crime if not for the fact that she had then handed the food to Xavier de Borda. After his trial, the former baron started living on the street dressed in rags and begging for bread. Alright. Page 2. The crime was witnessed by another worker, 51-year-old Barbara Cuvier, who also worked at the baron's residency. Although only for a short time, she testified to having seen Amy take bread and cheese from the pantry and give it to de Borda. He also nagged other employees of the loom shop, asking them to bring him food in exchange for money. The former aristocrat was arrested for vagrancy. During the interrogation, he confirmed everything that we had previously established. However, he denied recognizing Amy and offering her anything for the food. Okay. So, it's just... did she steal food and give it to this guy? And is that a counter-revolutionary act? Bourgeois whore. Don't waste the guillotine on her. Bring her to us. The defendant wanted to be human in inhuman times, or maybe she was just stupid in times that would have no mercy for stupidity. I cannot decide which epitaph would look better on her tombstone. Citizen, what's your name? I'm Amy Dene. And what do you say in your defense? I didn't do anything. She's obviously lying. The files contain a detailed description of the reason for her trial. Citizen, the principal of the weaving shop claims that you were helping a sworn counter-revolutionary, Xavier de Borda, the former baron, with food. I just fed a poor man. I didn't mean no harm. Why did you not feed a child instead of a former rich man? Should I pity an old man less than a child? She's lying, as monarchists always do. Alright, let's unlock the questions, shall we? 5 questions to reveal, 1 trap, 2 possible mistakes. Offender's personality, accusation, counter-revolution, and motive. Theft of groceries is the accusation. Money for food is also an accusation, or it could be a motive. There we go, it's a motive. So we have 1 more failure. Baron, kitchen maid. Kitchen maid is the offender's personality. That was a trap, excuse me, I'm sorry. Alright. Well, at least the trap's out of the way. Supporting monarchists is the accusation. Supporting monarchists is a counter-revolutionary act. And the Baron is an accusation. Alright. Do you support the revolution? Did the groceries you gave to Xavier de Borda belong to you? Why did you help Citizen de Borda? How long did you work for the former Baron? What did you get from the Baron in exchange for food? Just look here to see, and not... people aren't enraged. Do you support the revolution? Yes or no? Yes, although now more often than before, the cupboard is bare. So, yes, you support it, but it's not working out so hot, is what you're saying. Probably because in the past you were among the privileged who spent their time in palaces. During the ancient regime, we didn't even have cupboards. I don't believe it. If only you could have seen how we lived in those palaces. So the revolution has disappointed you, and you decided to help its enemies? No, I just fed a beggar who asked for a slice of bread. That beggar was the former Baron de Borda, recognized by the court as an enemy of France and its people. The Baron has really changed. He's skinny, gray-haired, looked like he would faint any minute. I wonder if he ever took pity on anyone. Alright, Did the groceries you gave to Xavier de Borda belong to you? I took them from Mr. Berthier's table because... So they were not yours? No. So you did steal them, say it. Order. Does the defendant admit to stealing groceries belonging to Mr. Berthier? No, Mr. Berthier hasn't paid me for the last 2 months. It's him who should be tried for theft. The fact that you were not getting your salary does not give you permission to steal Citizen Berthier's possessions. You should have come to us. It's his fault that I cannot afford bread for myself, not to mention the others too. He can deduct it from what he owes me. That is the mindset of the former regime. I am entitled to this, they say, and take whatever they want, without thinking of others. Berthier is no saint either. Okay. What did you get from the Baron in exchange for food? A kind word. What else would a starving beggar have given to me? The only other thing he could offer would be lice. Witnesses claim that he promised you a lot of money from his hidden fortune. He was going crazy from hunger. Why would he live on the street if he had money? Who would believe in such a thing? People like him always have some gold hidden. Again, why wouldn't he use it? Who knows, maybe he was living there because he did not want to draw attention to himself. If he had money, he could just buy food in a store. That is true. Unless he could not, because nobody would trade with their enemy of the revolution. I mean, how long did you work for the former Baron? I think that's not important. I think we have an option. We have a choice. Do we give her the death penalty, or do we acquit her and really upset the common folk? And I honestly think we acquit her. Why did you help the citizen? He was starving, and I know how hunger feels. He was also sentenced for counter-revolutionary activities, which you, as his former employee, knew very well. I only saw a dirty, lice-ridden poor man. How could I recognize the Baron in him? I'm still not convinced it was him. Are you trying to convince us that you did not recognize a man for whom you worked for so many years? So skinny, missing his hairpiece and rich clothing? He wouldn't recognize himself. Impossible. Would you have done the same if you knew the identity of the beggar? Criminals have to eat like any other person. He's just a beggar. What harm can he do to France? Well, let's... Did the defendant confess to the crime? Yes, in a sense. Was her act counter-revolutionary nature? No, I don't believe it was. Where did the woman get the food? She said she bought it from the beggar. She admitted to stealing it. How much did the Baron change? How long so we have to answer that question. How long did Nene work for the Baron? I'm concerned if we do ask that question that it's going to end up in Murder Town. So I don't want to ask it, even though it's something we have to ask. How much had the Baron changed since the end of trial? Became skinny and gray-haired. Well, we know that you said for years, right? Does it say? You said you had lived with him for years. How'd you not recognize him? And the answers we were given are only a few days, ever since she was a child, or a few months. So none of these are years. So I'm going to go ever since she was a child. Sign that, please. And I'm going to let you go. That's going to really make the common folk dislike me, but that's where we are right now, so... Jury votes in favor of acquitting the defendant. They find her innocent. If people are upset, don't blame me. Blame the jury. Alright, now we have these little cases. 2 cheap prostitutes, Marie-Laure Deplace and Yvette Michaud, assaulted and badly injured their colleague, Lucille Jougue, who had allegedly seduced one of their clients. Passerbys found the victim in a dark alleyway. She was unconscious, bleeding, and covered in bruises. Owing to the attack, the victim lost her left eye. She is, these two are supported by the aristocrats, but clearly they are bad news. Barbier, Saunier, and Duverger, 3 youngsters, broke into the bakery at night. They stole a big bag of flour, which they later tried to sell We should also mention that during the robbery, a window was broken. I mean, they're just children, and there was no physical harm done to anybody, so let them go. 3 15-year-olds were summoning spirits in the cellar. The candles they were using were stolen. The ritual was interrupted by the caretaker. Let them go. They're just 15-year-olds. Alright, so not a lot of change here. The verdict in the case of Amy Dene is not guilty. I see how you can believe her explanations, though it is a pity that your intuition was not strong enough for you to see through them. Hey, you gotta bring me the evidence. I can't read between the lines. If you don't, like, prove it without a shadow of a doubt, then I can't sign off on these things. He let a thief go. Are we letting counter-revolutionaries go now? You're an enemy of the people. Well, you know what? Well, she apparently did not confess to the crime. I think she did. She confessed to stealing and giving to him. I don't know if she confessed to knowing it was him. And it was, you're saying it was counter-revolutionary. I don't think so. But whatever. Alright, common folk -9, revolutionaries -8. Blah, 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 blah. Move on with the day. Let's go home. Orders are orders. I've heard rumors that after your intervention in the execution, one of the soldiers was shot for refusing to follow the order of a commander. It was the very same order you forbade him to carry out, and 2 other soldiers were also to receive corporal punishment. Your discreet alliance with Henrio may be in danger. Reputation -2. Okay, these people's deaths are not my fault. It's unfortunate that it occurred adjacent to one of my actions, but I was not the one that sentenced them to death. That's Henrio's problem. As long as I have known you, you never were one for small talk. Who are we talking to? Gregory Ramel. I believe that actions speak louder than words. Isn't Ramel the bad guy? What do our actions say about you and I? That we don't allow other people to control our lives, we are in charge of our own destiny. Could you at least reveal where you are from? I can tell you that, just like your brother Bruno, I've also spent some time living on the street. My older half-brother kicked me out, and yet I miss him. I am sorry. You shouldn't be. At least now I'm strong enough to do something about it. That's why I'm giving you Archbishop Goebel's head on a plate. Why? Because he was the one who planned your son's death, and I learned of his deepest secret. What is the Archbishop's deepest secret?
Goebel's father wanted his son to have a military career. His plans changed once Goebel had an illegitimate child. The careless heir was sent to Rome, where he was supposed to study and become a priest. The woman was taken to distant relatives in Paris. Jean-Baptiste learned about it long after he completed his education. Naturally, he did everything he could to move to the capital city. His search for the woman and child were futile. That is his weak point and our chance.
Okay.
We have to find them before he does. Goebel will not make a move if he knows that you have his family.
That sounds pretty shady. That we should hold someone's family hostage? Why did Goebel attack me? I mean, even if he did kill our kid, do we want to seek revenge in that way? By holding hostage some people that had nothing to do with it? Why did Goebel attack me? You dealt with the Rolands and almost did the same to Pash. They were linked, so he must have thought that he would be your next target and decided to send you a message. Now I will send him one of my own. Kill everyone that has raised a hand to your family. It is the most precious thing you have. This is your best opportunity to attack, as people are blaming the clergy for stirring the rebellion in the Vendée. Okay, they all kind of liked that we let that woman go. We can clean out the attic. The attic is grown dusty and cluttered. Matilda has not been energetic about housekeeping lately. That will not help my father. Open the night at the theater. That will only help my father. Then we go back to the grave. I think we need to get these guys above the line. So let's go visit the grave again. There we go. At least they're not in red territory anymore. And you don't drop too badly. Alright, here's the chess piece. We got bopped. No, we bopped him. Oh my gosh, they're everywhere. Okay, our people are wounded, so we need to back them out. We can only... Yeah, I mean, we can move them here, but that's the enemy diplomat is already there, so we can't come back to our home area. So there we are. I need you to try to control this spot. Over here, though, is looking pretty hot. A little bit of fervor going on over here, so let's see what's the intrigue. Jean-Baptiste Gobel, seeing how you dealt with the Rolands and the mayor of Paris, Gobel now sees you as a threat. The brothel used to be an important source of income and information for him, and as the mayor, Posh allowed him to control the city. The Archbishop himself planned your assassination and arranged the death of your son, forcing both the Rolands and Posh to take part in the crime. Okay. We need 2 wins to be successful and 4 wins to get a bonus. Rumor about Gobel's son. Embarrassing subordinates. Do we have to make both choices? It's time to look for rotten apples in Gobel's orchard. If we reveal the wrongdoings of his subordinates, we will undermine people's trust in the Archbishop. After the rebellion in Vendée, the clergy has been under constant attack from the people who believe the church to be responsible. Do we want to go diplomacy, force, or espionage? The convention deputies must know something. They would not make Gobel Archbishop if they did not have something on him. Surely threatening a few spineless former priests will help us learn some of the secrets. Or let us not involve strangers in the search. Ramel will personally hunt down those who have wandered from the flock. I mean, that sounds pretty nasty. I mean, let's just go the nice way. We're going to go diplomacy. 50% chance of success. The information about the Archbishop's illegitimate child should not be a secret any longer. We need to make sure these rumors reach the ears of Tinville, Prosecutor Tinville, and ordinary Parisians. They will talk about the scandal to several well-connected gambling companions. Clovis will search the gutters and force a few homeless to spread rumors about Gobel, or some questionable men owe Ramel a favor. Let us use it. Nope, we're going to go diplomacy all the way. We're trying to be as good as a person as we can here, even though we're clearly not being a very good person. And let's end the day, please. Alright, day 3, and we will definitely end the episode as soon as we get the chance. We only have minor cases to deal with. Alright, that's fine. We'll deal with those in the next episode. So thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you again next time.